Hi guys, welcome to Sid's Fables. I'm Sid and today we're talking about death. I'm kidding, we're actually talking about death scenes. Now, death scenes are pretty important. They could act like bookends to your chapters or to your story. They are important turning points for your characters. They add so much flavor to your world and they make your audience feel stuff. Now, when it comes to death scenes, there are two broad categorizations. The first is death scenes that make your audience happy because they witness the death of a character that they really hate. And the second one is a type of death scene that makes your audience really sad because they've just witnessed the death of their favorite character. Today, we're going to talk about the second type, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to really make your audience weep. Now, hold up. Before we get into this video, I need to give you a spoiler alert. I will be discussing the deaths of important characters from popular media, namely Avengers Endgame, Harry Potter, A Quiet Place, and The Lion King. So you have been warned. The first tip is a memorable character death. Anytime that you're planning on killing off a character, make sure that they're important. Because if they're not, frankly, the audience is not going to care. The more attached your audience is to a specific character, the more they will weep when they see that character die. One example is Black Widow from the MCU. She is a character that the audience has been very attached to from the very beginning. Therefore, watching her die was really hard to witness, and her death was basically the end of the Black Widow character in the MCU. The audience really loved her and wanted to see more of her. And what made her death so devastating was simply the fact that she was a memorable character. If y'all do want to know how to write a memorable character, I've already made a video about it. The link is in the description. Go ahead, check it out. Number 2, future prospects. Make sure that the character who you're killing off has future prospects. Make sure they're working towards something or building towards something, or there is something in the future that awaits them. When your character has this and then they die, it's devastating because we as the audience not only mourn the loss of the character, we also mourn the loss of the future that that character could have potentially had. One example is Sirius Black from Harry Potter. This character was about to become a very potent father figure for Harry, which was so important because not only was it an important moment for Sirius, it was a very important moment for Harry. For the first time in his life, he was about to get a reliable parental figure. Therefore, when Sirius dies, it's devastating. Not only because we, the audience, lose the character, but even because Harry loses his entire potential future with Sirius, and that makes the scene very heartbreaking. Number 3, the build-up. Now, a death scene is important, yes, but the build-up to the death scene is even more important and what basically determines how the death scene will play out. One great way to make any death scene impactful is make it unexpected. If your audience member expects a death, it's not going to hit them as hard. Even if your audience is expecting a certain character to die at a certain time, kill the character before and catch your audience off guard. Believe me, it will leave a lasting impact. One example is Lee Abbott from A Quiet Place. Now, this is a character who, although we were watching in a horror/thriller scenario, we expected the family to survive. So when this character died at an unexpected moment, it hits quite hard. This character sacrifices himself to save his children, and the build-up to his death is what makes the scene so jarring. You can see in this character's eyes that they don't care about their lives. We can feel this character's emotions and his desperation. And one big factor that makes this death so memorable is the fact that it is unexpected and he sacrifices himself for the future. And that is a pure sentiment that a lot of people can actually relate to. And number 4, the aftermath. When your character dies, take some time to show other characters mourning this loss. Grief is an emotion that we all understand. And when we witness grief in characters, we're able to sympathize and it hits us really hard. One example is The Lion King. Now yes, Mufasa's death is painful to watch, but what truly makes the scene devastating is witnessing baby Simba crawl up to his father and weep. That scene of a child grieving his father who just died is devastating and is what makes that scene truly tear-jerking and very, very memorable. Now, when you combine these 4 tips, you can write a pretty good death scene. For example, the death of Tony Stark. He is a very memorable character from the MCU that the audience has loved from the very beginning. His future prospects were innumerable. He had a daughter. He was about to go on a new path on his life. And at the end of Avengers Endgame, his death is frankly very unexpected. It catches everyone off guard. And when we witness this character that we love so much sacrifice himself so that the Earth can survive, it hits us really, really hard. Even after his death, we see all the Avengers grieve his loss at the funeral, and that only further makes this death scene so much more painful and so much more memorable. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. You can subscribe to my channel right there and check out some other videos right there. I upload a video every week and I will see you soon. Take care.